Euro 2024 is back this summer, and every time international tournaments come along, one of my favorite style of YouTube videos that I always like to watch is, even though I'm not English, even though I have no association to England, is England squad selection videos by Sky Sport and other English YouTubers. And I feel like all the time English fans are so reactionary. They choose the worst squads. They always make up excuses to put in players that they favorite that they favor more. I'm gonna, from the non-English perspective, I'm gonna put out the most realistic 23-man squad that English should take to the Euros this summer, based on right now. So we're gonna get into the list. I'm gonna explain the list I have with the tier list I made myself. But I really think we need some non-English perspective on this, because you England fans, no, all respect to you guys, but you guys are so delusional sometimes, so whiny, big babies sometimes, and you guys make emotional decisions on the team. So let's just get right into this. I'm gonna give you guys that real talk, that real factual squad England needs to take to the Euros. Let's get into it. I got the tier list right here, and I have all. Oh, okay, let's just start right now. No, straight off the bat, I forgot to put him back down there. Jordan Pickford is England's number one goalie. Performs at every single international tournament so far, and he's having a good season for Everton this year. So obviously, Pickford gonna be in the squad 100%. Other three goalies I have down here: Sam Johnston, Nick Pope, and Jack Butland. You may be asking, Arsenal fans, where is Ramsdale? And let me tell you something. Ramsdale, not enough minutes. I'm sorry. A goalkeeper with not enough minutes should not be considered for a 23-man squad for an international tournament. So I'm sorry, Ramsdale. Raya took your place at Arsenal. You barely got in minutes. You have no chance. So he's not even going to Disneyland. He's probably depressed at home. Just kidding. He's not depressed. If he is, I hope he gets the help he needs. You know what I mean? Hashtag mental health. Anyway, so out of the goalies we have down here: Sam Johnston, Jack Butland, Nick Pope. I'm going to tell you right now, Jack Butland needs to go. It's lagging right now. I hate that this is lagging. Anyway, I'm going to keep talking while I try it. Jack Butland needs to go. The reason why, let me put Nick Pope back there. Nick Pope, bad boy. No one said he could go. The reason I put Jack Butland there is he is having a great season at Rangers, and he is playing. Keyword, he is playing, guys. He is getting those minutes. He's getting clean sheets. He's putting up great performances. He had a dip in his career for a couple years, but now he's back. And I really believe, I know English managers and English media tend to not favor players outside of the Premier League, but I'm sorry, he is getting very consistent minutes and performing very consistently, getting clean sheets, big saves for Rangers. So I'm sorry, England fans. Butland is on the plane for me. It makes total sense. Second on the plane, third on the plane in the goalies, Sam Johnston. Nick Pope, I'm sorry. I'm putting Nick Pope in, still has a chance, because Nick Pope should be returning from his shoulder injury or whatever it was in a month. Nick Pope basically has a month and a half, a month to prove to Gareth Southgate he's good to go, to at least be on the plane and be in the squad come the Euros, be part of the team and be able to experience it. But right now, Sam Johnston, very good season in the Premier League this year. And again, it comes down to minutes. It comes down to who's playing. Ramsdale not getting enough minutes. You're not even on this list of options. Nick Pope, if he didn't get injured, he would 100% be in here for either Johnston or Butland. But Nick Pope gets the injury, has only a month to prove himself. And let me tell you something. As a Germany fan, what Neuer did at the 2018 World Cup, his terrible performances, is because he barely had any minutes. You don't want goalkeepers in your team that barely played during the season. It's a recipe for disaster. So Nick Pope, you still have a chance coming back for injury, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So let's get to the center backs. We're going to get the center backs and the fullbacks. Center backs. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to take 4 center backs for this England team. 4. 4. So the two obvious ones right now are obviously John Stones. What can I say? He and the next guy I'm going to put on this list, Maguire, have basically been the center back. The two of the center backs Gareth Southgate depends on the most. And I know people sometimes don't understand. You England fans don't understand. Why does Maguire keep getting picked, even though he has played well at every tournament for England? He has. And people are like, no, take a Tomori, take a Konsa so we could play high line. Gareth Southgate's time in England is not characterized by a high line. something that's important in national team football is the fact that you need continuity in the style of play, continuity in the starting 11. Stones and Maguire are just like that. And let's be honest, Stones obviously at City, treble winner last season, having a good season this year as well. Just got injured, but he should be fine. Maguire, yes, the season started rough, but Maguire has been Manchester United's best defender this season. Let's keep it $100,000. He's been Man United's best defender. So if anything, it was last World Cup where Maguire didn't deserve one. Maguire deserves the call up 100%. He's 100% in the squad for me. So look at all the other options we have now. I said I'm only going to take 4 center backs. Okay? So who am I going to take? Number 1. So we're going to debate. I'm going to give you guys a little debate for 2 little duels. So I'm going to tell you right now, Lewis Dunk, you're going to Disneyland. Lewis Dunk is going to Disneyland because I feel like every time he plays for England, it's just not good enough. And he plays in a Brighton team where I am hesitant to put backing behind some Brighton players because there is potential De Zerbi tax on a lot of those Brighton players. So Lewis Dunk, just not sold on him. Branthwaite, very quality defender, very good season for Everton this year, just too young. And there's a lot of guys who are ahead of him in the pecking order right now. In the future, maybe after this Euros, he'll have 2 years to prove himself and to be able to maybe play at the World Cup, but Branthwaite, too early for you. Joe Gomez. So let's start here. Okay, let me go here. Konsa. I think Konsa is going to be a guy who England can seriously look at for 2026 World Cup, but now there just isn't space, dude. There just isn't space for a guy of his profile. He deserves it. Let's be honest, he deserves it. But you can't deny the performances Maguire and Stones have been putting it together in the England team under Gareth Southgate's tenure. So I'm sorry, Konsa. It kind of just comes down to other guys being in the pecking order, other guys having way more experience in this team and way more experience playing in these tournaments. Konsa hasn't played an international tournament, so you can't just dump him in there. I don't think he'd be useful because we're gonna get to why he wouldn't be useful. Joe Gomez. So here's where we get into a little. Here's where we get into a little sticky situation. So you have Colwill, Gomez, and Fikayo Tomori. So basically, I'm going to give England, I'd give England these options. If you're going to go four center backs, I'm going 4 center backs. You have one spot being competed for by Tomori, Colwill, Gomez. The other spot, basically right center back slot, is being competed for by Dyer, Ben White, and Fikayo Tomori is competing for the right center back spot. But let's start with Colwill versus Gomez. Both guys very versatile in the back line, but we have competition for the right center back spot behind Maguire. We need a left-footed, I'm not English. England need that left-footed replacement for John Stones in the left center back position. And I'm sorry, that's the only reason Joe Gomez is not in the team for me for England right now. He shouldn't be on the plane, but I'm putting him and still has a chance. Colwill is 100% in the team. Left-footed center back is also very good at left back, so he has that versatility. He could play left back and left center back. Obviously, he won't be a starter, but he might. We'll get to that. But for me, Colwill on the squad, and so we have a right center back. We have Tomori, AC Milan center back. AC Milan, a team that plays highline. You have Dyer, who makes the transfer to Bayern Munich. I could tell you as a Bayern fan, he has been amazing. He's benched the likes of Upamecano and Kim Min-jae. And then obviously you have Ben White, who is just been solid for Arsenal for 3 years now. And this year he's having another amazing season as a right back, even though he is a right back and right center back as trades. So this is a very tough decision to make. For now, based on the entire season, Ben White, I know you have issues in the England squad. I know some things happen, but suck it up. You're going to be called up for your nation. Take it, bro. Put everything behind you. Play for England. England needs you. He is a fantastic guy to have in your team as a fantastic right back, a right back option and right center back option. And Tomori, I think he's in the situation of Konsa, just not yet Tomori. If Gareth Southgate leaves after this Euros, there's your opportunity, but it's a little unfair, but just not yet. And Eric Dyer, the reason why I say still a chance is because I want to see Eric Dyer in those Arsenal games in the Champions League because he's been playing well for Bayern against teams that Bayern will dominate. I want to see him when the pressure is being put on him in those Arsenal games. I want to see that because in the Leverkusen game when Bayern got smashed 3-0, he was pretty bad, man. He looked way off the pace. The play Leverkusen played at was way too fast for him. So Dyer, he still has a chance. He still has a chance. He has to have a very strong rest of the season with Bayern. Very, very strong. But yeah, let's get into the fullbacks now. Fullbacks. England. You guys have a lot of good fullbacks on one side of the field and a whole lot of trash on the other side of the field. Let's just start at right back. Kyle Walker, obviously Kyle Walker, starting right back. And this is where I make a tough situation. Trippier, Reece James. I have Trent over here too, but we're gonna get to Trent. I think Trippier has performed for England every time he's called up. So why would he not be called up? I think this would be Trippier's last international tournament for England. Potentially Walker too. We don't know when he'll start slowing down, but potentially Walker too. And Reece James, man, I'm sorry, Disneyland, too injury prone, and I'm worried. He keeps getting injured like this. His career is gonna go down the pit. He's not ever gonna make it back, which is a shame because I think overall, when he is not injured and on form, Reece James is the most well-rounded right back England have. Obviously, Kyle Walker is the best defensively, and Trippier probably the best attacking-wise. But Reece James is a perfect blend of both. When he's not fit, when he is fit, when he's not overweight. So I'm sorry, Reece James. Too many injuries this year. Hopefully, you get your injury situation sorted and you're ready for the World Cup in 2 years. But Reece James not on the plane. Left back. Obviously, Luke Shaw. Now, Luke Shaw is injured right now. We have to mention that. Luke Shaw is injured right now. But he's set to come back in a couple of weeks' time for United, and he has 2 months to prove that he is still at a high level coming back from injury to be England's left back, starting left back. Because let's be honest, left back is England's weakest position. You have Luke Shaw, and the fall off to Chilwell, who's going to Disneyland, is very deep. Chilwell has been terrible for Chelsea this season. He just played for England in 2 friendlies a couple days ago. Off the mark, nothing in attack, nothing in defense. Chilwell, I don't know what happened to him. He was great at Leicester. He had a good first season at Chelsea before he got injured. I'm sorry, Chilwell. You're going to Disneyland, and that's why I'm choosing Levi Colwill as well, because he offers a left back option. Trippier also can play left back and right back, and Luke Shaw is obviously your main left back. So that's why I'm going for 4 center backs, and the fullbacks I've gone for here. I think it makes a lot of sense. It really makes a lot of sense. I know people might be bringing in Doughty from Luton and other players, but just know, James Tavernier, just know these guys are the players England need. I think they're good enough for a fullback. And yeah, Reece James and Chilwell, the 2 Chelsea guys, too injury prone, too out of form, not enough football. I'm sorry, you guys are going to Disneyland. Now, let's go to the midfielders. Now, obviously, let's cut the shit. Basmati Rice, is obviously on the plane, 100%. Basmati Rice, probably second best midfielder in the Premier League this season. Best defensive mid in the world behind Rodri. I'm going to tell you, I thought Declan Rice was overrated, but he has impressed the hell out of me this season. Jude Bellingham. Do I need to say anything? Real Madrid's top scorer, Real Madrid's best player this season. Do I need to say anything else? I'm not going to waste time. We know why Rice and Bellingham are going to be on that plane. Now, this is where things, I think, get a little spicy here. For me. Let me get a drink of water. My throat is dry. Trent Alexander-Arnold is my midfielder. I think England should play 4-3-3 this summer, and I think your midfield should be Trent, Rice, and Bellingham. For me, that should be England's starting midfield. Seriously, I think that's a balanced midfield. Trent has played in midfield for England before a couple times. He has the ability to do it. I think Trent in midfield, 100%. That's how you get Trent in this team. because you can't justify Trent in the team as a right back. You can't. Trippier is a better right back than him. Walker's a better right back than him. Right back than him. And well, no, Trippier and Trent is a debate. But for England, on English performances, Trippier is a better right back than Trent. Reece James, when he's fit, is a better right back than Trent overall. So the way you get Trent into the team is through midfield, and he could definitely play that. And the reason why you need to get Trent in this team, because he is the best passer on this England team. His progressive passing is next level. His ability to pick out a pass, dead balls, dead set pieces. Trent Alexander-Arnold, that's how you get him in the team in midfield. I really think Rice, Bellingham, Trent, midfield three can work. I really believe that. So let's get into basically the midfield subs. Jordan Henderson. I'm sorry. For me, not even a chance. I think Jordan Henderson needs to be Disneyland. You England need to move on from Jordan Henderson. 100%. He doesn't have the legs anymore. He went to Saudi for the bag, realized Saudi Poop League is terrible, and is now at Ajax, and Ajax are a shit show this season. So I think Henderson, you can't take him. I know he has leadership, but I'm sorry, Rice is your new midfield leader. And I know people might say, okay, well, we need Henderson for the pressing and everything. That's why, for me, Conor Gallagher is 100% in the squad. Yes, he has no technical ability. Yes, all he does is run around like he's on cocaine, and that's why they call him Cocaine Gallagher. That's a great trait to have. They could always use Conor Gallagher to come off the bench to press when they need. If Southgate wants to make a tactical switch and utilize Gallagher's pressing and energy in the midfield as a sub, if Rice is tired, if Trent is tired, if Bellingham is tired, he is a great person to bring on the field to keep energy levels high in the midfield. And Jordan Henderson was that guy before. And Jordan Henderson was also a 6. Gallagher is kind of box to box. But I'm sorry, Gallagher, basically Henderson out, Gallagher in. That's kind of my rationale here. Calvin Phillips, as good as he was at the last Euros, he's had a really, really bad time the last couple of years with injuries and everything. The move to City didn't work out after having a good 1 or 2 seasons with Leeds. He's at West Ham now. I want to maybe put him in still a chance, but his life at West Ham has not started good for Calvin Phillips. So honestly, I think he has no chance getting into the team. Seriously, no chance for Calvin Phillips. James Maddison. Do I need to say anything else? I think when he's fit, he's proven when he's fit this season for Spurs that his ability to play make in the final third is probably the best in this whole England team. I think he leads the Premier League, at least for English players, in shot creating actions. And that is a guy you want. If you, maybe even a starter, if you play 4-2-3-1 and play him as the 10. I know that would be fought over him and Bellingham, or you bring him on the bench to create chances for Harry Kane if things aren't working out. James Maddison, 100% on the field, on the plane. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, good season at Milan, makes the move away from England, but I just think he hasn't been impressive enough. He's an interesting one because he can play the 6. He can play every position in midfield, 6-8, box to box. I'm going to put him in still a chance. The reason I put him in still a chance is because the only true 6 I have in this England team from my selection is Declan Rice. And if you need a backup for the 6th position, obviously Ben White is there. Ben White can play the 6, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek would also give you a solid option off the bench for any role in the midfield, especially for the 6th role. So I'm going to put Ruben Loftus-Cheek in still a chance. He could work hard the second half of the season with this rest of the second half of the season in Milan. I think he can make a push, but I don't think it's likely. Kobe Mainoo. Now, Kobe Mainoo has just burst onto the scene. I understand that. But I'm telling you right now, I think as a pure midfielder, this guy is on the level. I'm sorry. I know it's early. I know he's only been, burst onto the scene for 2 months now. I'm serious when I say this. Kobe Mainoo is the future of this England midfield alongside Bellingham, and he has ability on par, not on par, but you could put him up there if he plays more and he proves it more. You could put him up there with Bellingham. You could put him up there with Pedri, Gavi, Musiala, Wirtz. You could put him up there. We just need to see more of him. So I'm putting Mainu 100% in the team because I think he's the future, and you just start getting him that experience being in an international tournament now. It'll do England a huge favor in the future when this guy is going to be a starter. He will be a starter soon. I'm telling you, he could be in 2 years' time a starter in this England team alongside Rice and Bellingham. So Kobe Minu, very good player. He's a baller, bro. He's a baller. So you have to put him there. So yeah, those are my midfielders. So let's just get into the attack. Okay. Jack Grealish, guys. Jack Grealish, what happened to him this season? I'm sorry, Jack. Disneyland, you have no chance, bro. Injuries this season when he's played for City, not good. You can't be taking guys with barely any minutes to the tournament. I'm sorry. So, Jack Grealish, I'm going to keep it simple there. Unlucky this season with injuries and hasn't broken into the City team when he is fit. So I'm sorry. Grealish, Disneyland. He doesn't have a chance. I'm sorry. Let's just go through the surefires in attack. Harry, Mr. Harold Kane. We know why. Best striker in the world, in my opinion. Him and Haaland, take your pick, but he is up there as one or two. The best striker, if not the second best striker in the world. Take your pick. It doesn't matter. Ollie Watkins at the backup striker. So I have Ivan Toney and Dominic Solanke here. Ivan Toney, I'm putting in Disneyland because, yes, I know he was banned for 8 months. Yes, he came back and he scored like 4 goals in 10 games. That's just not enough to trump Solanke. And Solanke, I think it's still a chance. I think England only need 2. I don't think they only need 2 strikers. I think Watkins is very more similar to Harry Kane's play style than Solanke. But yeah, I was gonna make a case maybe Solanke's play style. Maybe they want different looks in that striker, but yeah, Watkins plays more similar to the Harry Kane profile of striker. And yeah, if we're being real, Ollie Watkins probably won't touch the pitch at all for England either way. And if Solanke got called up, he wouldn't touch the pitch either way. So I think you take Kane and Ollie Watkins as your strikers. Down here, so oh yeah, there he is, Saka. I thought I didn't add Saka to the list. Peri Saka. I haven't tried it because I don't live in England. I can't go to Nando's, but Peri Saka, starting right. He's starting on the right for England. Another amazing season for Arsenal this year, getting to a Champions League quarterfinal. They're going to play Bayern. Let's see how he does in that game. But everyone else, Saka, nail in for this team for the next 10 years, to be honest. Phil is in the squad, but I don't think Phil is a guaranteed starter like you English people make him out to be. I think Phil hasn't moved me in an England jersey. I have not seen an England game where Phil Foden was the star, stellar, amazing. I haven't seen it. But I just don't think he is this undisputed starter like you English guys make him out to be. Because sure, he could play at City, but what does he actually perform like in the team, in the England team? He hasn't really shown the same level. He is 100% in the squad. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to be in the not safe category. And we're going to get to the players in the squad who are not safe after I choose the 23, but yeah, I just don't think he's that undisputed starter like you guys think he is. Cole Palmer, amazing season for Chelsea. Without him, Chelsea would probably be fighting relegation. Let's be honest. I thought he was just another City reject, but really amazing season for Chelsea this year. I would take him. He could play the 10. He could play the right side. Basically second string to Bukayo Saka. So yeah, that's why I'm taking Cole Palmer, and especially key thing, get him experience in the international stage. He's going to be a key player for England in the next years to come, along with Kobe Minu and Bellingham and all these guys. So get him that international experience. Jared Bowen, I'm taking Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen, yes, that's another right-sided player. So you would have 3 right-sided players, but I think his performances in the Premier League this season warrant more of a place in the team. They do. I think they warrant more of a place in the team. Yeah, that's kind of my rationale here. We're gonna go here. Rashford. I'm taking Rashford, even though he's been piss poor for United this year. Rashford, man. The thing about Rashford is he has the ability to be great. He just doesn't show it often enough. And the thing is, though, he's showed it for England at times, and He occupies the left side. Him and Foden would be the left-sided players for England, but he also gives you another profile of striker. He can play through the middle as a number 9, so it kind of gives you a different looking as a really pacey striker who get in behind the lines if Kane and Ollie Watkins aren't exactly working out in a game. So that's why I'm taking Rashford. I know he's been bad at United. I know he's had a really bad season. Seriously, he's been awful. But his performances are picking up for United as the season has gone on. So that's that. Yeah, that's why I'm going from. So let's see. Right now we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23. So that's my 23-man squad. Sterling, I think Sterling still has a chance. And the reason why is because at the last Euros, who was England's best player? Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling performs better in an England jersey. I don't know if it's the environment. He loves to play for Southgate. I don't know what it is, but you don't put a guy like Sterling, you don't completely disregard him when he plays good for the national team consistently. And Anthony Gordon, I'm putting in still a chance. And the reason I put him at still a chance is because I think, and now we're going to get to the not safe players in this 23-man team, I think Gordon, if he continues to play, even though he probably warrants a call-up to the national team more than Marcus Rashford, he can challenge for Rashford's position on the national team, in my opinion. In my England squad, he can challenge. If he could give me a couple more games with big goals in the Premier League for Newcastle this season, and Rashford continues his mid form, bro, Gordon can nick one over Marcus Rashford in the England team. So yeah, Marcus Rashford isn't safe. Another player I think who isn't exactly safe is Ben White. And the reason I say it's not based off performance, it's based off his issues with the national team. And the two players who could compete for his position if he decides to not deal with the national team and all the stuff that happened is Joe Gomez and Eric Dyer. So Ben White's position, not due to performance, but due to personal circumstance, isn't safe. Another player who isn't safe for me is Jared Bowen is another player who isn't safe for me. He has to continue to play good for West Ham to really secure his place in the team. But who would you put in this not safe category? Probably Gordon could also take Jared Bowen's spot. Yeah, I think Gordon could also take Jared Bowen's spot. It's a real battle for those last remaining attacking positions. Anybody else in this team? Oh yeah. Now, I know I put Henderson in Disneyland. In fact, let me put Henderson in still a chance. The reason I'm doing this is because as much as I was just high on Kobe Mainu, his position in this team is not safe. He is still 17, 18 years old. He is not a must to put into this team. He isn't. It would just be good and accelerate his basically potential and growth as a player if he goes this summer and gets to feel the international training camp and how it is to play for England and to be on the bench and maybe even get some minutes. But if I could see Southgate potentially seeing, okay, we don't really need this kid. We need more leadership in the midfield. Kobe Mainu, for sure, next tournament at the World Cup, he'll be there. I could see Jordan Henderson being brought in for Kobe Mainu just for leadership in the midfield. I know Rice is the new midfield leader, but maybe that he wants more leadership in the midfield. Maybe just someone for the dressing room, and Jordan Henderson's that guy. So Kobe Mainoo's position for me isn't safe. Who else isn't safe? Yeah, I think that's it. To be honest, I think everyone else here, Pickford, Butland, Johnston, Stones, Maguire, Colwell, Walker, Trippier, Luke Shaw, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, Trent, Conor Gallagher, James Maddison, Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, Ollie Watkins, Foden, and Cole Palmer. I think they're pretty safe, to be honest. For me, if England is to be serious, these guys are your safe players. Rashford, Ben White due to personal reasons, Jared Bowen, Mainu. They wouldn't be safe in my team because we still have some way to go for the season. So that's how I would choose the England team. Oh man, we're 29 minutes in. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. That's how I would choose my England team. That's my 23-man squad. I think that's a lot of those players already put will be at the tournament, but I think there's some key outliers I put in. Cole P, Jared Bowen, Kobe Mainu, Conor Gallagher. Who else did I put in? Trent as a midfielder. Colwell, dropping Konsa, Tomori, all those guys. I think those are kind of my differentials in this England team, not taking Ramsdale or Pope and putting Butland in a team. A lot of people aren't doing that either. So that's my take as a non-Englishman on what the England team needs to be. I don't know what it is about the England team, but the YouTube videos about this are always so entertaining. Always so entertaining. And yeah, that's basically how I choose my 23-man team for this England squad coming up this Euros. And the thing about England is, you need to. I think if Gareth Southgate does not win the Euros this summer, he's gonna be gone. He's gonna be gone. And I'm pro Southgate, but at some point you need to be able to show that you could get over the line and lift that trophy. And I think this is his last chance. He's got a ton of players on form, a ton of youth, a ton of experience, a ton of players in their prime. No excuses, Gareth Southgate. And I think if he doesn't win the Euros, he leaves. And I don't know who would come in for him, but then the next generation for a new manager for 2-year build project for the World Cup 2026, that's when your Kontas, Tomoris, Colwill, Mainu, all these guys, Branthwaite, that's where these guys will really become, all right, now let's look at these guys more and let's start to phase out the Walkers, the Trippiers, the Hendersons. You know what I mean? They'll start to phase these guys out, the Luke Shaws. So yeah, that's how I'd send England to the Euros this summer. Let me know what you think. I think it's pretty good. To be honest, I think it's pretty good. I know I missed out on some players. I know. But, this is international football. Facts over feelings. And for me, this is facts. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah,